Hello there. Yes, hello again. Yes, it's true. I do put a lot of details. That's one of the specifics of my technique. A lot of details is very characteristic for pre-classical realism, and another one, like visually obvious feature specific for the technique, is the way of using perspective, using multiple perspective, connecting perspective. Because it's that perspective thing that I use to get into the subject of dimensions, like in these six paintings. As I have come to the conclusion that if somebody is going to have a painting on their wall and look at it for a long time, for long years, it must be interesting enough for them to do so. And it doesn't happen by any quick, short way around. The human eye gets the most entertained and intrigued by genuine work of meticulous brushstrokes, not by any mechanical means. Nothing else can replace that. Of details, I know another artist by name of Maurice always amazing someone his work. Alright. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Uh, this is a little bit beyond the landing, so I'll explore it higher. Thank you. I'm doing different things between the lamp black and ivory black, which is actually invisible on here, but that's like some things will be like that. I'll be doing like I'm doing, it will look as if I'm doing very sensitive thing. And also soon we'll get to the level where we need to get the handles, which will cast more shadow in this light thing. But that's more or less on all of those paintings. Yes, soon because of the details and how they are advancing, soon you will see me using the kind of hand rest stick, which I avoid using for as long as possible as I'm working on the paintings. But there always comes a time when I have to be careful of not touching the canvas surface with this part of my hand. So I'm working like that with something special to rest the hand on, and that so soon I'll be using that thing. But also I need to think because um, I sort of want to involve streaming in larger parts of my creative process, but there are certain complications that I am not, that I haven't planned out how to sort of unveil and show, because this unique situation of streaming whilst painting made it so I stream whilst I work on my private collection, which by an idea is a private collection, so people didn't see me working on it before, because I wouldn't necessarily want all these fourth dimensional topics to be brought out into like into all the public where I brought my other projects. So then, what you see here, for example, these are pieces of tape that cover fourth dimensional elements on the painting. So then, as I want to show more of my creative process and advance these paintings more, I will naturally need to find my way around it. So I've been thinking about it and planning, because I'm advancing further details to a certain level, but then, yeah, I will see. A cup of tea first. Because now you see me touching with this part of the as I work on things. But later I have a tool that will rest in a way that is along with the tension of canvas um, on the painted surface, and will allow my wrist to work away from it. Lovely. It's hot. That's really cool. Yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting the whole thing because I do have a large experience of working in public, especially public spaces. But this situation sort of allowed me to be, to make my private work public, and then it's very interesting and different mixture. Like um, I I am a naturist artist, and that's how I work. And when I was doing projects in public spaces, it wasn't so because it's supposed to be like that, right? So, but now I paint as I do usually. It's interesting. I just have to think about mm, how am I going to do this. Yes, it's interesting too because it it does give to it does add to the very real aspect of the whole thing. It's my favorite. Exactly. Started already. hand ahead of hand ahead of the head. Hello, Vincent. So I'm going to actually do something completely opposite of traveling. I'm going to go so far into this island. I don't know how am I going to do this. I'll definitely do bit by bit. Like now I'm under one area of a large canvas. And then later will be turned around, I'll be working on another area. It's not a problem. Mm, I will think it over. I'm a little hard of hearing, but your sound is slightly distorted and faint. Is this something you are aware of? No, I am not, Vincent. Maybe I was just talking to myself. Uh, um, maybe I haven't been. Um, I was just thinking out loud. So maybe that's the reason. And can you hear me now? That's cool. That too. Should be okay. Vincent, if you could please let me know if it's any better. You can hear me? Yes, I understand that. Yes, it is better the close you get. All right. The closer, yes. Thank you for letting me know. I was just thinking about something and the thoughts haven't got a precise shape yet, so that's why my voice followed in this quiet way. Never mind if others can hear, it might be me. No, I think it was just what I was saying. I was just thinking out loud. I am working on one of my six fourth dimensional paintings. I am a master of pre-classical realism, which is traditional painting technique that originates from the Middle Ages. And through different usage of perspective and dimensions in visual representations of realistic forms, um, I am exploring the subject of fourth dimension. As I said, this is part of my private collection, and I have started to work on those six paintings over 2 years ago. And what you can see right now, it's one part, not even half, of a large canvas. Um, it's um, right now it's like panoramic shape because it's horizontal. Sounds complicated? Yes, it is. It is very complicated. And initially, I haven't planned to work publicly on these, but as the situation happened as it did, I I have abandoned my plans of working in public spaces in a ways that I used to. And as I started to stream whilst I'm painting, I find my private collection the most right subject to work on whilst stream whilst I'm working on those, the most interesting. So that's why that's realizing yes, let's see. So that's why I choose to switch the stream on whilst I'm on those. But as you see, I'm not completely ready with it because I still cover parts of the paintings and that kind of thing. So mm, I'm just like, no, it's not. It is ready. I'm just progressively introducing the complicated topic. That's what it is. Because I introduce it as I work on it bit by bit. I think that way it will be easier. Um, as I started on those compositions over 2 years ago already, and they are known to me, and the complications have had a long time to mount. But also unwinding them must be instantaneous because at the end of the day, I'm a realistic painter. By private collection, do you mean you own it personally or as compared to presenting in a public space? Both. I mean both things at the same time. A lot of my other work is work on commission by order. So that's another sort of work. I streamed previously whilst I was working on an aquarelle of the Liechtenstein castle with girls wearing Tudorian fashion elements. This was my commission piece, and I have other works of that type. Mm, but that's a very specific thing. This is part of my private collection, which means both things you mentioned, plus even a bit more, because it has all the metaphorical aspect of me exploring the subject of fourth dimension using my technique. Um, yeah, so there's more to it. Um, what a naturist painter? Naturist painter is somebody who is a naturist and who is a painter, which I am both those things. I'm a naturist artist. That means I what's there something else? I have a few questions, but I don't want to hold you. Oh, it's no problem. Go ahead. But I stopped seeing comments here. That's a bit of a thing. Hmm. But I'll be seeing it on there. So go ahead, nothing holds me up. I've been trying to work publicly and interact with people whilst I'm painting. So please ask your questions freely, unless you don't dare to. I have forgotten the one project. Looks artistic. Yes, it does. Why am I missing? I will press hide comments and then I'll press show comments to revive them, but it didn't do that. Oh, the buggery! I stopped seeing comments again. How many pieces are in mind at any one time? Oh, that's a good question. Um, Many. That can be many. Um, for my fourth dimensional collection, there's six of those. But I usually work on more. What is the tape for? The tape is to cover the complicated fourth dimensional elements on the canvas. Mm, but I want to be able to see the comments here. I'll try to. I'm confused. Fourth dimensional elements? Yes, that's right. The way I can explain it to people when they ask is I say that what is fourth dimension in painting, and that's like that is a space inside of us, outside of us, inside of deep space, as a cosmic space, outside of deep space, time and space, and the relationship between all those things. And so I covered the most complicated parts as if not to trouble the minds too much at the beginning as I'm introducing the topic. And then I also want to sort of test the feedback and understanding and reason my streams along with those elements. But I have still, I'll type in something. I'll type in my internet site address. Maybe that will revive the comments on my screen. And nothing. Did my comment appear there? No, if it did, it would have been already. I'll check whether this be opened here. Ah, again, internal error. Well, I think maybe I'll end and start again. No, I'll continue. I'll continue and I'll be seeing comments and that's really deep. That yes, that is. It literally is deep. Thank you, Vincent, for subscribing. Fourth dimension, traditionally, as I understand, it is the occupation of space and time. Mm-hmm. as well. Exactly, exactly. But I must do it as a painter. So what I have to operate on is the two-dimensional canvas surface. So what I'm going to be using a lot is the mm, synesthesia as a thing in art. So the mm, uh, information sent through visuals, through actually through structure of oil paint to other human sensory perceptions. Your workspace is quite dark from this perspective. Is that on purpose? Yes, Vincent, it is. I am using the light in this direction now as I work on my paintings in various light conditions, and now is the time to use the daylight light bulb from my right side, even though I'm right-handed. But I work in various light conditions because I adjust my paintings to be visible in various light conditions when they are finished. Traditionally, uh, masters of all techniques worked on paintings that were viewed in a candlelight, which sort of changed the look of them, and that's how you're supposed to look at um, certain type of old paintings. I test mine with candlelight as well, but that's just one of the light sources that I adjust my paintings to. You must need to concentrate very hard to keep all the elements in play, or you have a very sticky visual mind. Yes, I must concentrate very hard, and I must be able to operate on my focus in a very balanced, very stable way. That's actually what I do, and that's what I've learned through 5 years of apprenticeship, drawing and painting 10 hours a day, every day for 5 years, where any work that wasn't perfect I had to destroy immediately. It is a highly complex ability to focus on the most finest detail without losing the full picture ever. And that is like, yeah, that is quite a thing in itself to train. And it's exactly not to have this thing that I think you call as a sticky visual mind. No, it's to keep very sober, very stable mind. That's what my technique is for. That's what I've been trained to do, and that's what's important to me, to do it in a very stable way. find this now one and post it. I wonder why this happened like that, but it freezes and I wonder from now to Christmas. Oops, again. What type of bits? For the bit that is one that is ready to be reviewed. Anyways, painters take to paint like for straight lines or anything. I don't because I've been trained manually to do that perfectly. But I do use tape now a lot for unveiling and revealing. A bit of wool or something. No. I look forward to seeing your progression and your other work. I'm not artistic but try to be analytical, so apologies in advance if I ask stupid questions. No, your questions were very right, and I appreciate this type of understanding, this type of mindset. I appreciate the analytical mind of yours, actually, to be honest. People who tend to call themselves more artistic, um, uh, they tend to think in more emotional ways, and I don't have a good understanding. I don't sort of link with them very well. I don't get on with them very well. But people with an analytical mind, these are the ways of how we can understand each other. Um, I don't use emotions in my works. I use a technique which I've learned, which includes very non-emotional, very cool analytical approach. I'll try to type in my site, but it didn't work the last time, so I don't see how it would work now. Let's try. No, it doesn't. Well, I will spell my site address. It's https it's two dots and two slashes, and then it's my name. I am Polish from Poland, so you can call me Kate, but my name is Katarzyna. An error occurs, so I cannot type in, so that's why this whole funny situation. So my site is KATARZYNAMERES .simdif.com. So katarzynameres.simdif.com. Yes, I cannot type it in. I honestly can't because my comments got frozen on here and I'm getting errors all the time. And I like to befriend my errors and stream on whilst I have errors. So I continue, but I cannot type my site in. But that was it. And if you wish me to repeat it, you can request it again and I will say it again. It's very funny. Oh, that's a really cool name. cool. Thank you for the information. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, very nice. And whilst it happened, this kind of error, there's nothing I can do to change it as it goes on, so I just roll it with. No prep about it. If I missed something while writing it down, I'll ask you for it again next time you broadcast. You're welcome. Maybe there is a way for me to type it in. I'll just test something. Yes, here I think I can. Yes, maybe I'll do that. Um, on here now, but here I will see if it's I might be missing some comments now. Oh yeah. Yes, but I get here things from there, and I think they're visible. I was seeing. And it's a previous one. I don't even have it active. No, I don't miss anything. So, okay. Now, um, I enjoy looking at the great original artwork your work has starting at the time. How do you describe your pieces to others, or do you not? Because this piece is solely for your appreciation. I forgot to comment. What is it? Um, oh, it went off. Um, I I do describe my pieces to others along with their interest and their questions. I started to stream whilst I work on part of my private collection um, quite recently because the paintings themselves I started to work on them over 2 years ago, which is a lot longer time. So I didn't get a chance to introduce people progressively to the work I was starting. They have been introduced to it as the creative process was advancing on already. Um, so I only show what is there to be seen and answer to questions in a very open, unlimited way. But I don't see a need for me introducing anything up front as I'm a visual artist, and that's what I keep to. I keep to my technique of pre-classical realism, which is a traditional technique, and it's based on manual skill. It's nothing conceptual, and it's not. It purely is a painting technique. Actually, that's a hard question to ask since it is only one of six. No, it's right. I do the same with all of them. So the answer, your question is right, and my answer is valid for all of them. That's a good question. This is the first time I'm seeing this one she's working on now. The other part, just leave me at loss for words. Ah, you answered him. Oh, thank you. So your art is open to interpretation, or you prefer comment on skill and method? Um, I I think it's open for an interpretation. I think that always is with art that is it's open to public. I think you can't stop interpretations. I mean, I can try to direct it and I can say whatever I want to say, but people only hear what they want to hear and listen to as much as they want to listen to. So I cannot do anything about people's interpretations. So I don't do, but I can, if somebody's interested about my side, I can let them know. It's hard to see because I haven't seen her in 6 years. Yes, yeah, nobody has seen them. Nobody has seen them. I understand. These ones I've seen so far have been really amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I think previously, before I worked on this side of this painting, I worked on the other side of it because the canvas is a symmetrical composition. Um, I sort of work on half of the canvas at one session and then half another. It's a symmetrical composition um, that that includes different parts. And the size of the canvas is about 1 meter 70 by I think 70 centimeters. I don't know exactly the shorter edge size, maybe 70 or 80 centimeters. I have to look. No, it's 1 meter 70 centimeters long. So I fit in the frame of the stream only more or less half of it. I don't think that's understandable. I didn't think you had shown them. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. So I think, um, yeah, I think when the masterpiece is ready, then it is ready to then it's fully open for interpretation, and only then it can be fully open for interpretation. But what I'm doing is streaming whilst continuing on a creative process, so that's a bit different. Do you have to take time away from your work, or do you create prolifically and combine elements to finish pieces? I usually work on a couple of things at the time, but with the fourth dimensional paintings, there was times when I had to take a break from them and not look at them, do something else. That's when I did fashion collections. I did Berlin Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, various fashion shows. And the way I can try to explain it is because I was working um, on the sort of, because everything I do on a canvas is on a two-dimensional surface, and I am working on subjects that are in up to the fourth dimension. And I use pre-classical realism as a technique, so in some way I ignored the third dimension in order to get to the fourth one. And I found the creating fashion collection very helpful, formally helpful in the creative process of working on the fourth dimensional canvases, because yeah, because then they work on the you work on a different dimensions and you find ways around the third dimension in space and time. And I don't think so. I'd like to see all 6 of them. Thanks for this. Oh yes, break is always needed. Yeah. No problem. I'm a consumer, not a creator. Ah, right. Hmm. Oh, I started to see comments. Yay! Something happened that unblocked me. No problem. I'm a consumer, not a creator. The world needs an audience. Ah, that's really nice, Vincent. It's great. It unblocked my comments. What is this? Scrambled egg on a teddy bear? No, scrambled egg and bacon. Egg and bacon? I think so. Uh, it's all good. I'm just a drummer. Haha, I understand. What I find important for the receiving end of any art form is that so it has a positive effect on the people. That's why I never work on any negative subject. I look forward to hearing your beats. Ah, yes, he's saying that to him, to the drummer. Oh, you couldn't see the comment. No, I couldn't, but now I do. And usually errors like that don't get resolved, but they just did now. This cup of tea can do miracles. To me, you see something coming. I will see on here if it's still working, but I think it is. Ah, yeah. So you plan to to is to be done in 2 years. No, I have no plan about the. I started over 2 years ago. Sometimes you can learn from a negative, but if you concentrate on the positive, that's good. I'm sure there is a yin out there to your yang. Yes, I think there's sort of a lot, but what I try to um, operate with is an intricacy and complexity in visual imagery, and it is very easy to be done in a negative and a lot harder and more work to be done in a positive. So that's why I look for positive to be to find those elements, those most complex. I never paint anything negative. I never paint um, any violence, sickness, destruction. Um, to be honest, I find it to be a cheap trick to do, like a quick thing. It would be like replicating an image from a stamp, maybe, or something like that. Would be like any mechanical means. I understand what you said in your last podcast. So you're using positivity as a challenge. Um, I think some people may see it as so, but I am using. Do you know the period of it's like a frequency. It's a frequency I'm using for highly complex subjects, and within the frequency of negative, um, you just don't find it. Don't you 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 don't find issues. You haven't you don't find solutions for issues highly complicated as you can in positive. Yeah, it's like a frequency. It's like a frequency that I didn't understand the last comment. Can you try explaining it again? Yes, I am using positivity as a frequency for highly complicated for highly complicated intricate issues that are more complex and can involve more dimensions. And the way I see it is a lot of negative topics. They fall very flat. They are very quick. The destruction is something that is very quick, negative, very easy. It's automatic. But creation is very high. It's very high. It's very complicated. It takes a long time and it's hard to do. Okay. Yeah. So it's in a way, yeah, that's how I see it. Destruction, quick, easy, negative, cheap trick. Creation, highly complicated, intricate, difficult, positive. And that's awesome. Yeah. And people have, because you said you are a consumer, Vincent. People have consumed a lot of this sort of quick, cheap trick, easy, negative things for a very long time, and that sort of had an effect. Sorry if I'm making this simplistic. So it's more effort to build a house than it's to tear it down. Exactly, Vincent. Exactly. You understand. And I've noticed watching various things that mm, uh, this trying to impress people by the negative means has a very negative effect on them, even if they don't realize. So, as a creator, as a master of pre classical realism, I very consciously decided how do I want to deal with those things in my profession. And that is why I decide. And also, I've been asked many times to participate in various projects, and this set of rules. So no violence, no sickness, no negative, no disease. Um, it keeps me away from those things. That's also why I don't work on anything political nor religious. I don't work on any political nor religious subjects, and steering clear from those topics have really allowed me to create things that are the most important to me. And also, Vincent, there's nothing wrong with being simplistic. I actually appreciate that because I believe we all need definition of things. Sounds hard, but I'm understanding the more you talk. Yes, I believe it could. I could try to say it simpler. No, I think I did simple enough. Um, I Instead of starts, that's really thought provoking and applicable to thought provoking, sorry, and applicable to many things. Exactly, nationalist hunger, religion. It's interesting that you steer away from these topics. Yes, exactly, Vincent. I do, and because of that, I managed to not get into potential troubles and traps that have been set up for me of many, many ways and many forms. You'd be surprised if I told you how many things it helped me with very simplistic rules, but really bacon saving. It must be that it makes you less reactionary to the world around you. In some sense, yes, but it makes me far less ignorant than most people are. I still keep my sensitivity, but I keep it on my usage and guarded and protected. Because you see, all this impressing people by the negative means to some level wears them down on it and makes them very ignorant. And by not going that way, um, you do get less reactionary, as you wrote, but less ignorant as well. And you can keep the sensitivity of your character if you wish, and actually develop it as well. Because a lot of people drop it at the earlier stage of development and decide to. Thank you. You've given me a new perspective. I will think about this. You're welcome, Vincent. Now I will stop my questions and just consume. Oh, questions are part of it. I enjoy your questions actually very much. You're welcome to talk. I told her pretty much the same thing in her last podcast, mind blowing thoughts, and thank you. Hi there. Hi, Luke. Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah. If I didn't want to talk, I wouldn't be streaming, you know? I'm not that stupid. So if I wanted to concentrate on my paintings purely, which there is times like that sometimes, I just do it. So, I switch the stream on whilst I'm ready to paint and talk and interact, and I enjoy doing so. You love my stream? Thank you, Luke. I understand. Right now, I just want to watch and listen if that's okay. No problem, Vincent. No problem. I am. Thanks for sharing. I have enjoyed watching your broadcasts. Thank you. Thank you, Drummer. Where I'm from? I am Polish from Poland. You're from you live in Toronto and you're from New Zealand. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. And Vincent is from Auckland. Wow. Yes, I am a professional artist, so you can call it full-time artist. I am a master of pre-classical realism, so my main profession is painting, but I'm also a fashion designer of unique hand-stitched prototypes, haute couture type fashion. That's what I do. It actually has become my secondary profession, as it provided a formal completion of certain manual things for me, and then it has become my second profession. I was I started to work on the paintings in a fourth dimension, and I kind of got lost in them and got very complicated. And that is why and how I created my first fashion collection, because um, oil painting is one operates on two-dimensional canvas, whilst fashion is putting out shapes and forms from the two-dimensional textile and making it into shapes and forms that fit to models' bodies and walk around in a catwalk. On New Zealand, that's cool. He's from the USA. And what links all those things is the fact of my inspiration, which does come from beautiful young natural females, and that's either with fashion or painting and drawing. My inspiration comes from beautiful young natural females, and um, the topic of my inspiration is common in all my art forms. And mm, my inspiration also is a sort of topic, is a thing that helps me with this synesthetic thing I've been talking about. Yes, nice to meet you all. My God, you're so incredible with a good soul. Alright, thank you. Thank I was asked in the fourth year of my apprenticeship to choose my source of inspiration, and that is when I chose that my inspiration comes from beautiful young natural females, which also has to do with the subject of light, as in a sense of mass measurement and brightness. all the meaning of the light word. And that choice of inspiration source, um, mm, that also has to do with uh, mm, not with avoiding certain subjects, so negative, destructive, and that kind of thing. And tradition, what's that painting about? That one is one of my 6 paintings from fourth dimensional collection, which are part of my private collection. It's very complicated, and it's nice to meet your own age who can teach something new. All right. What is visible right now is nearly a half of a symmetrical composition. The canvas is 1 meter 70 long, and it consists of two of the sort of composition is made of two sort of large wooden frame mirrors, which from a distance can look like a pair of sunglasses. It helps you to imagine it that way. And there's multiple reflections in both the mirrors, and they are connected and wired up in a very different way. And so what you see is part of the symmetrical composition, nearly a half, and there are parts with of the canvas with a tape, and that tape covers complicated fourth dimensional elements. Yeah, but it's all about fourth dimension. Those there's 6 paintings, which this one is one of, and these are all about fourth dimension. Yeah, what I was talking about is the subject of my inspiration in a sense of light and all that, and this is what helps me and what pulls me through all this complicated labyrinth and complexity of going very very far into detail and focusing on the finest form of the most possibly visually defined imagery without losing the full picture of it. And traditionally, masters of pre-classical realism worked with these ideas in order to achieve harmony and perfection, which are also my aims. So that's how you can see also it has nothing to do with those destructive type subjects. Yeah. Oh, I still can see comments and very glad about that. Are you sure I ain't putting you off your work? No, you aren't. And if it was so, I wouldn't be streaming whilst painting. First thing is that during my training, during my apprenticeship, I asked my master to teach me in a way so I'm able to work whilst the crowd of people is watching, asking questions and interacting, because I knew that I will never take on any apprentices myself. And as the technique is very rare, that's the only way I have to introduce it to the people, to even teach them something if they want to learn, but not through apprenticeship, because I'm not trying to take on any apprentices, but by simply watching. Um, in the means of visual arts, it's possible to learn things by watching just. And so that's one thing. I've been trained to do this. And another thing is, if I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't be streaming. I would I know. I put the stream on while as a window of communication and conversation with you. So it can't and it doesn't. So I don't even think in this kind of categories. I actually enjoy it because I'm trained to do that, and I need to keep it as an active muscle. This thing of focus and defocus and multi-focus and many platforms of interaction. I do a bit of art myself. Oh, right. What type of art form do you do, Luke Yogi? I'll type in my site now as the comments are working, and I might be able to. Oh, that's my site. Now it appeared. Landscape. Ah, so painting and drawing, visual arts, right, Luke Yogi? You're looking at my site now. Oh, that's good to know. I love to see more of your paintings. I will type in my site again. This is an address of my site where you can see some of my other works. Mhm. But it appears I can recommend this is to refresh. Ah, yep, that the one. Yep, that the one. What is it? That the one? It got one. It's got the one. All right. Good. Is it working? Yeah, it has to refresh it separately. Mm. Ah, right. Then this one is great. I have some of my paintings which are of a various types, which are my kind of example paintings, which I still have and keep. And a lot of work I do is work by an order, by commission. Um, and on my site there are various paintings and also links to fashion shows and things you can see I've done before. Do you have your art on the internet? Yes, on my site. I see. You are writing on YouTube, and I cannot type it in. One moment. I will spell my internet site address. It's KATARZYNAMERES dot SIMDIF.com. So katarzynameres.simdiff.com. Um, and I'll try to. Um, I'm trying to type in the internet site address where you can see it look, because I'm streaming through Hubs, but you're on YouTube, so I'll try to type it in a way that will be visible to you. It's here. It's here. I think I should be able to do that in a moment. Yes, I can. Yep, that's my site address. I I think it should be visible now. I typed it from my YouTube account. I typed it in from my YouTube account. That's an address of my site. Did you get it, Luke Yogi? Um, Give me your email address or WhatsApp number. It's on the site. I typed it into YouTube. I think it should be visible to you, Luke Yogi, now. And my email is also on the site. So if you type in a message on the site, it sends an email. Or but I think it should be visible to you on YouTube. No, didn't come up. Oh, so I'll try again. It's missing a name. Sorry, that was it's a little bit misspelled, but it's been typed in. I'll try to type in again. Now the last one is corrected. The one above is missing one A. But I think it should be visible to you now. Can you see it, Luke Yogi? From what I can see, it's in the chat box on YouTube thing. It appeared there on my side, and it appeared on the hubs where I'm multi-streaming from. It should be alright. Mm. Also, uh, where will it come up? In the chat box on YouTube, and and also on the YouTube board. When I don't know if you are watching on your mobile or on the desktop version, but on YouTube I have linked my site to YouTube. There is my various social media platforms, and one of them is my YouTube site. So even if you don't see it in the chat dialog, oh, you got it, great, you got it, yeah, because that's what I was typing it in the chat box, in the chat place on YouTube. It's good you got it, but if not, then there are all the other links are there on that board anyway. A lot of these complicated, complex things on the dimensions have to do with what part of one dimension you see in another, and what type of it you don't see looking through that other dimension. So it's great you got it, Luke Yogi. So that's what the creating of fashion collection was helping me with, to sort of realize and calculate. So calculate in order to compose which elements of some dimensions are visible and which are not in other dimensions. Can be sentence. It is very complicated, can't lie about it, but it also has an extremely simple aspect of it too. It's like you see this and you don't see that. It's just as simple as that. You are so awesome. Your painting is unreal. Thank you, Luke Yogi. And that's what I also meant about this whole thing of frequency of positive and that, because um, I need to be on a frequency of positive to get into all this complexity and at the same time simplicity of the things to do with dimensions. All these things, I will see this and you can see that and that kind of things. I'm thinking you are a nudist. Yes, that's right. I'm a naturist artist and I'm into girls. So I'm into females and I paint female nude subjects nude. It also has to do with frequency and affinity with my female models. Also, I don't know what you know about the European culture, but originally athletes were naked. The ones who ran in the Olympics, they were naked, and that is because it helps body to endure physical effort, and the physical effort of my type, so long hours of meticulous work, um, naturism is extremely helpful in dealing with that. It has to do with circulatory issues, with lymphatic system, a lot of things. So this that grass you're painting now, um, no, there is actually no grass in here now, no. But I'm painting elements which are just as meticulous as painting each blade of grass on its own, yes. And also to continue the subject of naturism, where in my atelier there always has to be hot. The temperature has to be very high in order for the paint to dry. So that's why uh, naturally masters work to nude because the paint needs to um, have a high temperature in order to dry, and also low humidity. So high temperature, low humidity, long hours of meticulous work, the body's endurance in order to be able to cope with that. And that's also the physical aspect that gets trained through apprenticeship, because don't forget an apprentice has to draw and paint 10 hours a day every day for 5 years. Yes, that's why. Yes, the nudity helped with my art. That's why I'm trying to explain it now in a way that it helps to endure long hours of meticulous work. And it also when I work on female nude subjects, it puts me on frequency with my models also, but also it helps to work in the conditions where the paint can dry. Yeah, so there's um, many aspects to it how nudity helps with the work, especially with the work of my type. And this yeah, and this physical aspect was very known about in ancient times. That's why those athletes were originally nude. In Greek Olympics, people who competed initially, they were doing so nude because no no sports were. gives the body the same ability to perform as well as just a birthday suit. Yeah, that's fact. Because any type of clothing is restrictive. It limits the body's ability to do whatever it does. Of course, people have to like shield themselves from cold and that, but my type of work it's in a very high temperatures because the paint has to dry. And another aspect of it is any type of realistic artist has to be very familiar with the human anatomy in order to draw and paint realistically. When I was learning anatomy, my granny modeled for me nude. So naturally, there is a naturism aspect to it. Also, originally, Masters worked on a lot of female nude subjects. That's why you see all those paintings with naked people. But the suit, hey, all art is amazing. That's cool. I like how open and free you are. Yet it's necessary for creativity, Luke Yogi. Openness is character trait which conditions creativity. It's necessary. That's so true. I feel at peace just watching you paint. Exactly, look, that's what it's meant for. That's what is a very positive thing, and that's what allows to see more things, and that's how creativity can help to come up with solutions for many life domains through calm and peace and serenity. Wow, so sexy naked girl. Let me send you a message. Uh, hi, Chiki, Sam, whatever. Thanks for live streaming. Thank you, Luke Yogi. It, it is in my it is interesting on my side also, Luke Yogi, this whole experience of live streaming and that. That's another aspect, and it's like my type of probe into reality and looking into the things. Like I look into what people are like, how are they like what they write. Thank you, Vincent, for Creative Genius Award. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it gives me look into the people and lets them tell what they want to tell without necessarily me knowing them, like in reality. What is the price of my art? An oil painting costs 20,000 euro. I've been painting for a very long time professionally. Like my apprenticeship started over 15 years ago, finished over 10 years ago. Um, Before that, I've been painting as well. So, but professionally, as a master of pre-classical realism, I've been working for over 10 years. No, Zam, I didn't think at all you are hitting on me in any way. I see what you've been doing. You often comments and sort of say what you have, what you bought. I think you're trying to sort of impress, maybe, but I don't think me, maybe other people who might be seeing, hearing. Sure. Yes, I see your nervous frequency. That's one thing I know for sure. Um, mm, Thank you, Luke Yogi, for subscribing. Thank you. Yeah, so I didn't think that either. I see you as I was just going to mention you as a sort of distracting factor trying tennis. It's a bit boring, but yeah, you think that, but instead maybe say happy for me. I don't understand. I don't understand. I think you're poor, Sam. Mm, yeah, I think you're poor, Sam. What what do you pick up from me? I think you look are interested in more intellectual things. I think you are not here for like distracting factor reason or any other reason. I think you are genuinely looking for a valuable interaction that could help you in your life further on. And that's actually what I am sort of here to do, because I do believe that arts and in the highest form of creative art, I believe all painting is, can sparkle the people to come up with solutions for other life domains. Why say you think I say this to I forgot what you said. Exactly, Zam. Yeah, and Zam is been coming in and out for, and he often says like he goes for a pee or he goes to eat, as you see, like very simplistic, very basic things, which I don't mind because I know that this stream can be a companion for those things too, and I actually don't mind anything, you know. I know that some people let out their frustrations on this, like in those chat box and that, and they can do so. That's what it's for, I think. And trying to stop them would be like, why? Senseless, I think. Oh, my battery is dead. It's nice you still wanna talk. Yeah, I don't mind them. Mm. Oh. No, I don't blame you for being simple. I think you are not being simple. I do actually really appreciate simplicity. Um, it's not being simple that is the worst of your features. I think the worst and the most unhealthy about you is this sort of neurotic frequency that I believe is not doing you yourself any good either. But it's it's your business. I'm not having like what is I'm having battery charging issues. It's doing well now. You like simple too. Yes, I like clarity and definition of things. And the strongest things, they are crystal clear, like, yeah, like diamonds, they cut through glass, right? That's the thing, the most pure, simple, strong things are what I appreciate. Yeah, and of high quality. I do appreciate high quality, but that simplicity is often part of it. When you have to sort of heavily brand something to give it its quality, then you're genuinely lacking it, I think. But I'm real accent. I don't need to tell you what I work with. No, you don't need to tell anything, Exam, and also you can type anything you want. Yeah, that's true. Because other than the simplicity, I do very shady stuff. No, I'm not interested in those kind of things. I'm not interested. It's to me like the other topics I stay away from. I've been just saying about it. I don't paint nor draw any negative subjects, so I stay away from anything sick, violent, destructive. I also have nothing to do with any political nor religious subjects. Yes, I'm reading. Exactly, we forgot. I have like no mm, no emotional pulls like that, and I say sorry, you said this and that. I literally am very cool about those things, and I think um, it is the best thing to do about it. So get what you are saying. I so get what you are saying. That means you understand. Thank you, Luke Yogi. Yeah, it's interesting, this whole adventure of streaming. I've watched how it goes sometimes, and I've seen some really strange stories and things. It is interesting, and it is an interesting experience for me to do so whilst I'm doing my art. So I definitely source from it as well. You say I like the good care, and when I say I don't care, you don't care. Neither I believe you, neither I don't, and the condition of me streaming doesn't necessitate any of that. That's why it's so cool. Cause you said this last time, and I don't know, but yeah, I think you're pretty calm person. Yeah, I am. Like I don't worry too much. Well, I think I'll make a cup of tea. I do like it. Don't worry too much. You, you know, it's it's like you decide what do you put your emotions in. You decide which part of your life you involve what with. That's part of being professional. Um, why am I not happy for you? Because it's not part of my profession. Um, because it's because I don't feel emotional about these things. And yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, I'm into girls. Yeah, battery. Okay, you're going to drive 1,100 kilometers tomorrow. Mm, you said you're going to drive home, right? Going to drive 1,100 kilometers to your home, take plane to Oslo, and buy Mercedes A-Class. Alright. You know what they say. And this one. So I have been and my sister and her boyfriend for third day. Alright. I'm going to make that tea. Hi, like Shy. Um, yes, my mic was off. I'm just making some tea. Yes, that's right. I'm making tea. Hi, Lakshya. I'm making tea and doing a couple of things, but I'll be seeing your comments regularly, and I'll be painting soon. It's just I have to make tea, and I have something certain cooking, so I have to sort that out, and yeah, a couple of other things. But I'll be like regularly looking at the screen, and then eventually I'll continue painting. Take two, no worries. Nice to hear, Lakshya.